A very good day to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Riddhi Kumtekar, for today's episode of Smart Talks by Lincoln University of Business Management. Today, we'll be talking about one of my very interesting topics, which I always wanted to explore. That's called Mastering Minds Exploring the World of Polymaths. Ashwin Sarang is an Indian visionary serial entrepreneur and thought leader based in UAE. His entrepreneurial journey is marked by the establishment of Dubai's first robotics company, Reliable Robotics, highlighting his passion for technology and innovation. Please welcome him. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. Actually,
No
you said it
worries.
well. Like you took me along the memory lanes of all those stuff. So
Yeah.
thank you for a
I'm
wonderful
actually
introduction.
very interested to know about this topic because I think this is something which not everyone talks about it. And like when I first came across the script and everything, I was like, I need to understand what this is all about. So I'm very happy we could get you as a guest and you're going to explain us about what polymath and everything all about. So starting off with it, let's kick it off. How do you define polymath? And can you give us an example of some historic polymaths and what contributions have they made?
Like you said, lot many people don't talk about this topic, which is why it's important to talk about it. And for most of you viewers, I think this word is very primarily new. So polymath is primarily a definition of a person who has multiple skill set and they have interest in multiple disciplines. For example, an individual can be, say, an engineer, and he can be a painter, he can be an artist, and he can also be a numerologist or an astrophysicist, like random different sectors or industries they might primarily have passion for. And we have, let's just say, in the old centuries, we had a lot of philosophers and thinkers. And you might be familiar, Leonardo da Vinci. He's ideally famous for the Mona Lisa painting. But most people don't know that he was also an engineer. And he has done amazing work in designing an anatomical book. He used to steal corpse and he used to open them out and study it.
Wow.
And all those books were written with very intricate detail of designs and drawings. His ability as an artist helped him draw the human body and all the organs and everything. And also he has done a lot of contributions and he used to design weapons as well.
Wow. That's a fact I didn't know.
Yeah, many people don't know that.
Yeah.
So another person is Aristotle, and he has done a lot of contribution, right? And I think our viewers might be familiar with Pythagoras. Right?
Yeah, of course.
You might
I
be
did
familiar
study it in
Pythagoras theorem, right?
back in the days. Yeah.
Apart from mathematics, he has done several other contributions as well. He used to study about astrology as well. Yep. And all this formulas and stuff is based on the universal mathematics. And several people like that. And Plato, for one. He used to be, again, like many of these philosophers and great thinkers. And Einstein was one. Yep.
Okay.
And most of, the laws and stuff that he defined was from different disciplines. And he had to combine all those disciplines to get a better understanding of the functions of the universe.
Wow, that's very well explained. Like short, simple.
Isn't it fascinating?
I know it is.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm just like, wow, there's so much to take in. So moving to our next question, in your experience, how does polymathism manifest in 21st century, and what are the key characteristics or habits that define a polymath individual?
The main reason why we're having this conversation itself is because the world is changing, and it's changing at a rapid rate. Now, with the introduction of AI, I wouldn't say introduction, more of practical aspect of AI, people have started to use AI on their daily basis. You might be familiar with ChatGPT. I'm sure that
course.
you've used it.
I've used it multiple times.
Exactly. All of us use it,
Yeah.
right? But most of us don't really look into the technical aspect of things. Like to build something like ChatGPT, you need to have a clear understanding of course, software development plays one of the key roles. But you also have to better understand human psychology. If you want ChatGPT to give you certain answers, it needs to also understand, the system needs to understand how the human psyche is.
Yeah.
Right? And the mathematical modeling aspect of it. So many things. So in a world where, these kind of AI systems are being used, most of industries that we work with, they're all becoming collaborative. It is required for you to learn multiple things to actually develop a system or to even build a career. Most of the jobs that we used to do, a job of an accountant has gone away. It's not there anymore. We have accounting systems, very highly advanced AI-based accounting systems. They can fully take care of your, entire mathematical systems and also connect your bank account and pull feed from there.
Yeah.
So all you need at the end of the month is just a data sheet that containing, okay, this is my profit and this is my loss. So things are changing. So it's important to have this discussion.
True, like technology has evolved so much. I
Absolutely.
don't think there's like this one person who doesn't even depend on technology. Everyone
Absolutely.
does. It's
Absolutely.
evolved, and there are new technologies coming and taking over so many things and so many aspects of your life. Like in a day, if you want to do some quick research, ChatGPT. The first thing which comes in your mind is like the free software. Chalo, let's do it.
Absolutely, yes.
So yeah. So moving on to my next question, what is that one experience that delved you into polymath? Like, what is the one thing in your life that made you go into the polymath?
Now, for me, being an entrepreneur, when I was essentially starting out, of course, when you start out, you're required to do most of the jobs.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have an investment, when you're trying to bootstrap your own company, you can't have multiple people, right? Because you're trying to cut costs there.
Yeah.
So my only option was to do 3 people's job or 5 people's job. So it required me to learn accounting. I used to hate accounting because I come from an engineering background. I'm very good at developing stuff. When it comes to numbers, I'm pretty bad.
Yeah.
So obviously, I had to learn that aspect. And in the process of learning that, since I'm very lazy, I wanted to automate most of the things. So I automated accounting, then marketing. We built up a proper digital marketing software that does the entire digital marketing for us. So it required me to go into different things. And in the process of this journey, I understood that naturally I do have an interest in these things. So I looked more into it and I understood my psyche and my brain biology helps me to learn anything that I want.
Yeah.
And same goes for everyone.
True. And like it's better to like always improve your skill set.
Absolutely.
You cannot always have one skill and then expect to like expertise in it.
In the current world, it is required for you to know multiple things.
As I said, technology is evolving. People are also like getting into different aspects. Like for me, I'll take an example. So initially, I had only understood what copywriting is, but then I moved into like video editing, social media. And social media, usually people think is just about, oh, they just post it on social media. There's nothing. The amount of hard work it takes to think content creating, then from the scratch, make a social media content calendar, and then executing and everything. So like you have to build good amount of skill sets in order to flourish in today's 21st century as we are in. So talking about polymath, was there like a situation or something in which polymath helped you like to solve a particular problem?
Being a polymath, definitely, I would say, because every time we come across a problem, if you have multiple skill sets, let's say a better understanding of several, industry, your problem solving skill set or capability increases. You tend to become much more faster because now that you have multiple perspective, you can take inputs from all this perspective and create an overall solution that is favorable to everyone. Something much more sustainable, I would say.
Okay.
Or as let's say if you have one skill set, the amount of expansion that you could do as an individual is quite limited. You'll be limiting yourself, and any system that you build, any problem that you solve, tend to not become sustainable because you're thinking for that standpoint. You have a particular problem now. I'm solving that now. But when you are being a polymath, if that problem occurs for me in the future, do I have an automated solution in my head to solve that automatically? So that when you solve it the first time, the problem doesn't occur the second time.
Okay.
So it's more of having a sustainable mindset. Only a polymath can generate that.
True.
Most importantly, you need to have curiosity.
Yeah.
The first thing a polymath needs to have is curiosity. And most people are so much busy with their life, they don't tend to think outside what they do.
Yeah.
And if you want to make good life choices, good decisions, and let's say being an entrepreneur, you are always at risk. Every decision that you take, you're always one step away from blowing something up
course.
or having a loss. So
Definitely.
you have to be very clear about your choices. To have better choices in life, being a polymath helps.
Wow. Okay. So talking about you as an individual and from your personal experience, how does polymath contribute to personal and professional success?
Like I said, let's just say as an individual, my career and my professional life only contributes to 10% of me as an individual, right? I'll have a family life. I'll have a social life. I'll also have my spiritual life. So in order to excel at all these things, it is required for you to learn anything. Let's just say tomorrow I get married and I have children. Taking care of the health is important. So I need to have the right kind of information in terms of human body functions, what kind of food to eat, what is the right kind of nutrition, because it would help. But that information might not help me in my professional growth, but in my family aspect of life, it'll help me. Because knowledge is the most solid thing that you could have, right? If
Knowledge
you
is power, as they
exactly,
say.
do you know why they say that? If you look back at our history, people or kings and many people hunt many things. One is money, social status, and power, and the fourth thing comes knowledge. But the most important aspect is if you have the right kind of wisdom and knowledge, rest of three things you can easily attract. You're smart enough to know how to make money, how to build social status, and how to build power,
Yeah.
right? So this is why knowledge falls at the top of the entire hierarchy. So being a polymath, you always have the competitive advantage over other people to excel, because a polymath would look at a particular problem from all perspectives.
Not only from, like they say, think out of the box.
Think out of the box.
Yeah.
So here, being a polymath, you're thinking about all the possible boxes that other people also can think about, which gives you the competitive advantage.
Okay.
Right?
So like
will
you have the
always
advantage over anyone else.
Exactly. Look at Elon Musk, for example. How many companies he's running? And he has a well understanding of all the functioning of those companies. He's built an amazing car, Tesla, and he's sending satellites to space. So, and he has Solar City. So he's one of the modern day polymath. And there's not many people like that.
Yeah.
And he's the one proof that being a polymath can get you to the top.
But he does have a lot of haters also.
Being a polymath, you are tend to be more open to you will have your own ideas and opinions. But the reason why they have that is because they look at everything. And it's not necessary that everyone's going to agree to those ideas.
Yeah,
But as a man, what he's doing, the choices he's making is moving to a sustainable planet. I don't think we are in no place to come and
Not even close to
not
him.
even close to him. So I would prefer to not to comment on anything. And he's doing an amazing job.
Yeah. So, talking about Elon Musk and everything, do you have like a specific person that you look up to apart from him, like who you think like a guru or something, who you really like look up to and be like, wow, this is my inspiration?
Okay. See, growing up, of course, there's a lot of gurus and people that inspire you. But the people, you choose your gurus based on certain things. For example, if I want to excel at my career, for example, I come from a robotics background, I can run a robotics company. So I have to idolize somebody who has done something similar so that I can take their ideas and also get an understanding of the choices they made, so I can excel at my own industry. Same goes here for everyone. But for you to grow as an individual, idolizing one person isn't enough. And it's not, when you also idolize, you tend to also have to look at the personal aspect of life. That particular individual might be good at their professional career, but not be doing an amazing job in their personal career. So it's not possible to idolize one person. So I would like to take different aspects of different people and understand them, study it, and look at the contributions they made. A lot of people talk, but action speaks louder than words. So what action they take is very important for me. So there's plenty of inspirational people.
Like any names that you would like to
APJ
mention?
Abdul Kalam,
Okay.
the kind of contributions that he has made. But if you look at him, he does not have a family. He never got married. And if you watch his interviews, you ask him why he never got married. Because his purpose was more than the choices that he wants to make on his personal life. So if he didn't make that choice, I don't think that we would have the rocket technology that we have today. And Ratan Tata, for example,
Yeah,
was
of
also never
course.
married, right? So they made personal sacrifices for the greater good.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk, of course, he does have a family and children. So all these people do fall. So you take different aspects of them, try to understand it, and try to implement in your life. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what action that you take is important.
Wow. As you mentioned, you have a company and everything. I want to know more. I'm pretty sure the viewers also would like to know more about what your company is about, what the service is, and what led you to start your own firm.
Okay. So it's quite funny how it was never being an entrepreneur or starting my own company was never part of the plan. So I went to college. For me, my goal was doing something interesting. I just want to use my life to do something interesting because I tend to get bored if I do something that I don't like. So in the process of it, I joined college, and my father advised that computer science is good for you. So I joined in. But going there, I made some friends. But in the first year of engineering, you tend to have all the people who've taken different departments tend to be in the same class because you're studying the same subjects.
Okay.
But I made friends with people from mechatronics. So just to spend time with them, because in the second year, they would go to their own class.
Yeah.
And I would miss them, which I don't
Right,
want.
right.
So I took mechatronics. And I moved into the class. That choice led me to falling in love with the subject, specializing in robotics and building a robotics company, because the goal was to build my own robot. So I did that, and fast forward, we have one of the amazing, apparently, the people say that one of the best robotics company in Middle East. Yeah,
Amazing.
so
That's a big
that's
thing
where
in Middle East. So what's the name of your company?
we're called Reliable Robotics.
Reliable
We're pretty
Robotics.
reliable.
Okay, yeah. The name says it all. So moving on to my next question. Considering your diverse journey across various fields, have you encountered any challenges or obstacles while navigating diverse fields of interest, and how did you overcome them?
Absolutely. I think the challenges that I faced are the same challenges most people face. Because let's just say if you have multiple interests, most of us have, even though we want to build a career, we might build a career for different reasons. One, we want to have a stable life. Two, we want to make money. Three, we want to have certain social status or better way of living. So based on these four aspects, most people build their career. But they might be having other hobbies they do want to explore. Somebody who is
What are
working
your
as
hobbies? Talking about hobbies.
I've managed to explore my hobbies. So being an engineer is one of the things that I love. But if I go much more deeper, I'm more of a creator and a maker. I like to make things.
Really?
And
Okay.
I would love to know people and things. I have a very curious mind.
Okay.
So I've studied a bit of things like I'm a healer as well.
Okay.
Practice something called theta healing.
Okay.
So it's a meditative practice where you tend to go into a meditative state and you put your body into your natural state of being and the body starts healing itself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also a sound and vibrational therapist. And I'm also a life coach. I'm also an NLP master practitioner.
Wow. Yeah, I think you're like all in one.
I wouldn't say that. There's so many things that I still want to learn.
Okay.
And I went into all those things just out of curiosity. And curiosity makes you, take certain decisions. And my business helps me fund all these hobbies that I want to explore.
Amazing.
So when I'm not working, I'm pretty much learning something new or
Like
exploring
always
a
keeping
new.
your mind busy.
Absolutely, yes.
Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I used to think, keeping my mind busy. That's what I initially thought. Because when you run a business, initially,
of course.
You might feel guilty because you can't explore your hobbies because you have to put your full effort.
True.
Because societal pressure,
Yeah.
right? So
I know.
this societal pressure stops most people from exploring their own hobbies.
Mm.
You can only excel at something that you're passionate about.
True.
So being a polymath pushes you to explore those things. Let's say you explore 5 things. One of those things you will find an inner passion towards.
Yeah.
And you will naturally explore it and you will excel at. But if you don't have a polymathic mindset, society would tell you, if you take this, you'll make money. Okay,
Yeah.
I will choose that career. But it might not work for you because everybody's different.
I know. I mean, even me, like right now when I run my own startup, like it's really startup. And like I did get like few of my friends and family saying, how will you fund? And from where is the money coming? And like they have like so many questions which I just leave them like unanswered because I know what I'm doing and I know the amount of I know what it takes to get it out there. And there's so much of hard work. As you said, at least you're keeping your mind busy. I got to take notes from you and I got to keep my mind busy as well and look at other opportunities and other hobbies and interests around me. So that's really nice. So talking about your reliable robotics, what are the services that you offer?
We primarily, most of our profit comes from industrial robotic system integration.
Okay.
So we build certain kind of robotic systems. We integrate them with other technology to solve a particular problem. If you take industry, manufacturing is one of the things. Automotive manufacturing, we look at painting of cars, assembly of cars. Those are the primary aspect. And second thing, we do robot rentals for events.
Oh, okay.
So we rent out different kind of humanoid robotic systems that can speak, they can dance, they can interact with
Wow,
people.
okay.
So this part of the world, instead of hiring a hostess, they would hire a robot that would promote their product, which is kind of crowd pleasing. So people tend to come towards it just out of the curiosity.
Yeah, if I see a robot talking, I'll be like, hey, how are you?
Exactly. Yeah, it kind of makes you curious and you
Yeah.
would want to explore what it is. Next thing you know, the robot is talking about the product. It tends to have a better ROI. It tends to pull people closer. So apparently it's working out for
Yeah,
them.
it
So
is.
we get business.
Amazing. So, like, what I mean to ask is, how long did it take for you to form the team, the dream team that you wanted?
Again, so I don't have a godfather. I don't come from a family of business owners.
Oh, wow.
So I'm more of an engineer, right? So being an engineer, I'm more of an introvert. And most of the things that I want to learn, I had to learn because I had certain life goals that I want to achieve. So building a team wasn't that. I would say that it wasn't very hard because I was more focused on the kind of, I wasn't focused on their skills because skills you can always teach.
Yeah.
The right kind of attitude. So when I interview someone, I primarily ask what their vision is for themselves. And I see if their vision aligns with
Matches
my company's vision.
Okay.
Because you can look at many things. You can look at their skill. You can look at their interest. But primary thing is if they have to stay in the company for a long time, provided that I treat them right,
Yeah.
provided that I keep them, provided that I help them grow, provided I give them all the platform for their growth. The next aspect is if their vision and my company's vision don't align, they might come on board for a temporary period of time. Once they reach a certain saturation point, they would tend to leave. So I have to look at the psychological aspect of things. So I ask them, what do you want from life? What is that they want to achieve? They say they have an interest in robotics and they want to explore further. They're the right fit. Skills you can always teach because if you don't have the passion, no matter how much you spend on the training, it's not going to help them.
It comes from within. Like if you're passionate about something, like I'll tell you, I'm
Absolutely.
very passionate about music. I've never learned singing or music like from a person. It's all self-learned. And like if somebody asks me what is your passion, I would say music. The first thing it comes like it's from within yourself, you know. And you, if I ask you what's your passion, like robotics. It comes within yourself. So,
Absolutely. I like one thing you mentioned. You said that you're passionate about music.
Yeah.
So you taught yourself.
Yeah.
Now let's just say you were forced to follow a different career path. What would happen is you have to force yourself every day, push yourself to wake up and learn those things. But you're passionate about something and you explore that. Naturally, you have the tendency to learn that. You're very excited to wake up. You're excited to explore. If somebody puts in the work naturally like that, there is no reason why they shouldn't be successful. Basic math, because the blocks fit and the puzzle fits rightly.
Yeah, and like you wake up every day, you'll be like, I have that is my passion, that's my goal, I want to achieve, and you will
have that
eventually do
inner
it.
drive. You don't have to force yourself.
Yes, true. Wow, yeah. Like it is life, and like you need to know how to take it and make it your own.
Absolutely.
So, coming to my last question, I hate to say it's the last question, but and lastly, for someone interested in adopting a polymath mindset like me, what steps or practices would you recommend while they're starting their journey? This is actually a very personal question I'm asking for myself.
Okay. Now, I'll have to ask you another question back.
Sure.
Of course, we had a chat. We talked about being a polymath, what it takes to be a polymath. The thing is, unless you understand why you want to be a polymath, it's difficult for you. Now, the main thing is most people don't understand is your life doesn't revolve around your career. There is so many aspects of it. Most importantly, you have to make sure, are you a good individual for yourself? You have to see if you're healthy for yourself. And then you see if you are healthy for your family. When I say use the word healthy is because if you're a right kind of individual contributing to your immediate family, are you a good daughter to your mother or father? Are you a good sister to your brother and sister? Then you explore further than that. The outside circle forms what contribution that you're making to the society. If you're just going to live a life and build a career out of it, you're more of a taking from the universe person. There is no giving back. When you're not giving back, that comes as kind of out of balance. Yeah. And if there is an out of balance that happens in your life, then naturally tend to you become unhappy. If you want to build a very sustainable lifestyle or life, you'll have to contribute back. Now, let's just say, like I said about example, let's say you're working hard in your career, you've achieved the peak of what you can achieve. But let's just say in the process of achieving this, you didn't take care of your health. So everything that you build, you're no longer able to enjoy it. So what do you have to do? You need to teach yourself about how to manage your body systems. Yeah. So again, you are out of necessity, out of a sustainable aspect of life, you're learning that. Then when you learn that, you realize that I need to have a healthy environment for me to grow and thrive. So you look at your immediate people. Are they contributing to my growth? So you tend to clean your societal circle and you bring in the right people. When you bring in the right people, you will have the right kind of conversation. So you're expanding further. Your knowledge is expanded further. Now, if you want to build rapport with people, you need to have a better understanding of psychology. Go into any industry. Exactly. Go into any industry. The products can change. The services can change. But humans are always there. Every industry, it's about sitting across the table. Somebody is selling, somebody is buying. Yeah. So the common thing is human beings. So you will sell better or buy better if you have a better understanding of who is sitting opposite to you. Having if you have a better understanding of their psychology, if you have people skills, you will tend to sell better. Now you see, you're building a career. Now we move to health, then we move to people skills. Yeah. Now people skill isn't enough. You need to have a sound understanding of what planetary forces can influence a human being.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So we are extending further. Yeah. To give you an example, you know high tide and low tide, right? Yeah. Right? How moon's gravitational force is having an effect on the water bodies on the planet. Okay. The same effect is also happening in your body. because we pretty much 70-90% of it is filled with
Yeah,
water.
absolutely.
So as the low tide and high tide happens, your body also starts elevating,
Okay.
right? And let's say if you look at religion, obviously, for example, take Islam, for example. Islamic calendar is based on lunar cycles,
Okay. Right.
so now let's just say if you can use planetary forces for your advantage, you tend to make better choices in life. But most people don't study it.
I don't study
Yeah,
it.
because it's important. It's important for you to study many things because you expand from yourself to psychology, to your immediate environment, to planetary forces. By the time you explore this much aspect, you tend to have a better understanding of how everything functions in the universe.
Wow.
You are a polymath at that point.
Right. Wow. I also want to know this. What strategies would a polymath individual take in order to get out of like a pressure or like an issue around him or her?
To start with, everyone has a common goal. One, everyone wants to live a better life. Happy, good, happy life. One of the things, we live in a world where we have bills to pay. So everyone needs to have a job, right? I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You might have a 9 to 5 job or you tend to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So your basic necessity you have to fulfill if you want to live, unless you live in an island where you have your own farm and farming enough food and you can have food to eat, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But most of us, 90% of us need to do a 9 to 5 job or have to make money because you have to pay bills. So you need to sort out how to generate money. So how to generate money, you have to choose a career naturally. So it's better to choose something that you're passionate about. How do you know what you're passionate about? You have to explore.
Yeah.
Now, I'll take my example for, just for the sake of conversation. So initially, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? So I had to go into exploring some things which I just felt curious about. So let me just try that. For my luck, what I was curious about tend to work out for me. But if I haven't, explored that, I don't think I'll be sitting here today. You wouldn't have invited for me this talk. So that means I have certain level of relevance.
Yeah.
I do not know to what extent I have my relevance. Maybe it's just 1% of relevance. But in order to build that 1% of relevance, you need to have certain kind of understanding. You tend to at least be successful in one thing that you do. So you can speak about it or advise people on that aspect. And most of the things people face is the societal pressure that starts from the immediate family. Your father and mother could tell you, based on their fear, I don't want you to explore this. People don't talk about it. Maybe it's not trending. Maybe their personal experience or somebody advised them that it might not be the right thing. So they might advise you, okay, don't explore that. Now, if you go back a little bit more, school. Now, let's just say you're not good at math.
I was never good at math.
Okay, I'm sure that somebody might have told you do not go into engineering or anything that has to do with math.
Yeah.
The only reason why you're not good at math is not because you're not good at math, is because you didn't have a good teacher that could teach you better.
True.
If they can create the interest for you, biologically, you're packed with enough neurons to save any information that you want. There is no such thing as interest. Interest comes much later. You can actually learn and explore anything that you want.
Yeah.
You might not have the necessary skill set in the beginning, but if you tend to explore and curious, biologically, we're all the same. We are not different. It's not like I have a specific set of talent and I can only excel at this. No. Only thing that might stop you is if, let's say, your brain development is slow, or if you have brain cancer or brain lesion, or if you have any physiological problems, defects. Other than that, there is no reason why you shouldn't explore. So if a teacher tells you that you're not good at math, it's because they're not teaching you. They're not doing a good job at teaching you. Right? So what do we do as individuals? Okay, we're convinced that we're not good at it. So we won't explore what we want to explore. We might be passionate about it because that one subject, we're like, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fail.
Yeah. That was
Most
the
people,
fear I always had in school. Oh my God, I don't want to fail. I have to do it.
Based on my personal experience, my failures have taught me more about life than the things that I actually become successful about. I had 10 to 20 different business ideas. I only implemented 3 of them. And 3 of them worked out. Rest all failed. Most people don't know that because it never saw the world, right? So failure is important. So it's important for you to fail. 2 things you'll learn. You'll either learn what to do or you'll learn what not to do. Both is important for you as an individual. If you learn what not to do, you can tell next person that when I tried this, it didn't work. And these are the choices I made, which did let me not to be successful at it. You're not telling the other person because it didn't work out for me.
It will not work for you
No,
also.
that's not what you're saying. You're just giving them an information that
Yeah.
I made these choices, it didn't work out. Try this if you want, it might work for you. Or skip this part, you can do the next part, which might work for you. Knowledge, you see, right? If it's not helping, if the knowledge you gained, if you're not able to use it, you can impart it to somebody else.
Yeah. Like how you're just imparting your knowledge all about polymath
I
to me.
guess. I
Yeah,
believe so.
of course. And I've learned so much. Wow. And there you have it. That's the end of our amazing session. Thank you so much, Mr. Aswin. I
It's my
really
pleasure.
enjoyed a lot and I understood a lot of value about what polymath is all about. I'm pretty sure viewers also are taking down notes. And to our viewers and listeners, if you want to continue this conversation online, feel free to ask question and stay updated with our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn channel in LinkedIn platform, LUBM Smart Talks. Until we meet again, I'll still be your host, Riddhi Kumtekar. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode.